Well, hello everybody out there in England. This is Chris from HHN with another exciting episode of Topher's Log. Forgive me today, my anxiety, I'm having a little difficulty with anxiety today. It took me a little bit to get out of the house this morning. If the camera or things seem a little bit shaky, that is because I forgot my actual camera stick. So, yeah, my rush to get out of the house, I was kind of mentally debating to actually leave the house this morning, and I finally was able to do it. But in my haste, I forgot my camera stick. So things might look a little bit shakier than normal. I apologize. But nevertheless, we are here today because we do have some stuff to see in terms of Horror Nights construction. Last week, of course, we had the lighting rigs, first one up. This week, we have some actual physical Halloween Horror Nights sets in which to look at. Kind of crazy that all that stuff is out so soon. But Horror Nights is like 40 some odd days away, so it makes perfect sense. So let's not waste any more time. Let's have some fun. Because of my goof with my camera stick, I'm not going to walk around too much while actually shooting. But this is a look down Production Central at the crowds. It is a very crowded day out here. Another reason for us to not be out here for too long. Despicable Me is at a 70-minute wait. But it is very crowded out here today, guys. And also, scorching hot. Today's journey starts in Hollywood. We have our first signs of props. This is the Nettlewoods Cemetery. We'll discuss something in a little bit that I want to point out. But we have a cemetery, so that's good. Again, apologies for the shaky camera here, but we got some very cool cemetery props. So this is in the entrance to Hollywood, coming from the main entrance there off to the right. So the props literally line the entire street of Hollywood. Last year, of course, Hollywood was one of the last areas to get any kind of props whatsoever, but the actual type of props that they are basically all the same. It's a cemetery, some red brick exposed. It is so crowded out here, guys. I have to keep moving, sorry. But we have all this stuff here. I did want to point out one quick note. There's been a lot of talk lately about the lack of Universal Superstar Parade, because Universal Superstar Parade has indeed ended. So there's been a lot of speculation that they could do a whole lot more in terms of props out in the streets and stuff like that, but that is not necessarily going to be the case. But if you notice, these props are more out in the streets, and they're not kind of halfway up on the sidewalk. So they are kind of more in the streets this year, and more than has been in the past. So there's another one over there we'll take a look at. So here's another one. Of course, we have our lovely signs here. But basically all the same thing. This red brick, and then this sort of catacomb crypt thing is there. And then we have one more over here. A lot of these have stages for performers. So there you go. So those are all the props currently down Hollywood Boulevard. Like I said, you can definitely tell that a lot of these are more in the street and not like kind of half up on the sidewalk, or, you know, all on the sidewalk. They're actually in the streets. So that is a byproduct of, you know, no Superstar Parade. So A little look down the street here. The music, for some reason, has suddenly stopped around the park. I don't know why that is. But interesting. So over by the entrance to Central Park, we have another truss. Looks like it might be setting up for Marathon of Mayhem entrance here. We'll see. Our lighting trusses in Central Park have received some lights. So here's the one that's over by the Cafe La Bamba drink stand thingy. This is the first one here. So we also have some speakers, finally, over here. And all of the trusses have lights, so probably not the last lights they're gonna have, but they have lights. So our rigs towards the back of the park, so by the former Amity bathrooms, now have lights. So we got lights here, lights there. We'll look at the ones down there. Got one more thing to see, and then that's it. Over in San Francisco, we have a rig out by the exit to Fast and Furious Supercharged. So nice little rig here. We also do have lights on our poles in San Francisco. So there, and then some lights over there. Our construction wall is also still here, so there's that, but here's our rig. Our small truss in front of Fast and Furious also has some lights on it now. A couple of quick looks at the demolition progress of Monsters Cafe. No longer any Monster Cafe identifying markers. So as Donkey's photo finish also gone. Quick look at the Monsters Cafe sign over here, also gone. Nothing left. I know nothing about soccer, but something called the Florida Cup is happening, and you're allowed to do stuff here in the Music Plaza. Florida Cup is not here, but they have stuff here. Quick look at the Nettlewood Cemetery sign before we head out the door for today. Well, I forgot to do an outro. Like I alluded to at the very beginning of this video, sort of my anxieties today were kind of through the roof, and there's a lot of stuff that I sort of forgot to do today, including, of course, bring my camera stick, and I forgot to do an outro because I just wanted to get home. But we are home now, and of course we saw physical Halloween Horror Nights props out there in Hollywood. It is a cemetery, and all the rigs that we saw last week have received some lights of some sort. Of course, they will, of course, get more lights as we go forward. But pretty much all the rigs, in fact, I think all the rigs that we saw last week have some lights of some sort on them. And then we have the sort of T-rig or whatever rig thing over there in San Francisco, over there by the exit to Fast and Furious. So things are happening. It's Horror Nights is like 40 some odd days away. So things have to start going out. Of course, we have to deal with the storms and stuff like that. Hopefully we don't get any of those, and they have to take everything away and put everything back up again. Who knows? But yeah, so again, I apologize for some of the boot stuff today. I hope the video is not too shaky. And I'm sorry about the boot setup now. I forgot to do an outro, and I should probably do an outro. So, but yeah, so we'll probably be back next week to see what else is going on. There'll probably be more stuff, I would assume, put out over the course of the weekend. It is what it is. This is one of those times where you wake up in the morning, it's like, hey, there's stuff out there. But of course I have to work, so I can't get out there all that often anyway. I'm not really one to play the Quest for First game anymore these days. And I'll get there when I get there. So that is going to do it for me today, guys. As usual, everybody, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.